Hey everyone, you're with Tesla Tom. Thanks so much for joining me today on my YouTube channel where I talk about all things Tesla, electric vehicles and renewable energy. Today we've got a software update video for you today on our Tesla Model 3 performance. It's 2020.28.6. We've got that and an autopilot drive and much more coming up right after this. Alright guys, so like I said, we're in our Tesla Model 3 performance here with a software update 2020.28.6. As you can see right in front of you, there are actually no release notes for this firmware update, which means that it's just minor improvements and bug fixes. What you see in front of you is just notes from the last update, which I'll put a link up here for you guys to check out, which is the last video I did for that update, and of course the new language support from that update as well. Now before we go for a drive today, something I want to point out to you from this update and also from the last update is that when you put the reverse camera on, you'll notice that all the icons up here disappear. Now this didn't used to happen. Only from the last update, 2020.28.5, did I notice that the icons disappeared. So like I said, if I take this off, all the stuff up here like time, temperature, profile, Sentry Mode, dash cam, and importantly home link icon there, when you put the reverse camera on, it disappears. So unfortunately that's something I don't quite like, and hopefully with the next update, that'll be rectified and all the icons will reappear. Because when I back out of the garage, I want to close the garage door by using home link, that icon there, which would normally sit here, right there, but with this change that they've done with what Tesla's done, that's all disappeared. So hopefully, like I said, that'll be rectified with the next one. Alright, so let's have a look at the autopilot settings before we go for a drive. We've got everything on, auto steer, navigate on autopilot. With the lane change, we've got it on mild, a speed-based lane change. We've got lane change confirmation as well. We've got traffic light, stop sign control, visualizations for full self-driving, and summon, which is obviously not relevant for this drive. Alright, let's head out for a drive right now. Alright guys, well here we are on the drive up through the forest area of the Northern Beaches, and we're going to go up Forest Way and then turn left on Monavale Road. And before we get into it, I just want to say hello and make sure you guys are all okay and keeping safe and well during these times. I just want to shout out especially to our Victorian viewers. Hope you guys are keeping safe and keeping well in what must be a difficult time for you guys. So thinking of all of you down south of our border from Sydney. Okay, so we're about 4 o'clock now here in Sydney, just after school hours in terms of speed limits. So we don't have to worry too much about school zones. We just obey the usual signposted speed limits here on the road. What we're going to do now is once I pass these lights here, I'm going to engage autopilot, and I'll leave these side cameras on for you guys so you can see what's going on as well behind you and to the side of you there. So to engage autopilot, double shake of the right stalk like that. When you see the blue lines like that, it means that it's on basic autopilot, which is what we've got on our I guess our city streets at the moment, not the navigate on autopilot, which is the single blue line. In Australia, we still have to confirm the green traffic lights. So as you saw there, the big red line came up. And here we still have to press the accelerator or just tap the right stalk very gently, and you'll be able to sail through the green light. Of course, if it's a red light, you can just leave it alone and the car will stop. Just want to change lanes here. We've got auto lane change, so the car does it for me when I ask it to. Of course, autopilot, guys, as always, is beta, which means that I always keep my hands on the wheel, remain ever vigilant, and eyes on the road. Certainly not fully autonomous by any means at this stage. So we're coming up to another green light now. What we're going to do is just press the accelerator lightly and it should just sail through. Ooh, turned amber. Okay, so I had to sort of re-tap the accelerator to make sure the car went through at the correct speed limit, of course. You'll notice that with changing lights like that, the car will ask again, what do you want to do? So that's quite a nice safety feature. But look, like on roads like this where it's just a nice, I'll just change lanes before I speak, back to the middle. But like I said, on roads like this where it's, nicely marked lanes, it feels like the car's on rails, even in city traffic. As you'll see now, I'm coming up to a red light and the car will stop by itself. Pretty incredible, really. I still find it fascinating, really, what it does. And it will tell you there on the screen, stopping for traffic lights in 25 meters. We don't have, like I said, the go on green just yet. That hopefully will come soon with the next update. Must be a regulatory thing. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. It's certainly available in some parts of the US, I believe, but not here in Australia. Okay, so as soon as the light turned green, I just put my foot again on the accelerator and the car will do the rest. And across the intersection nicely there. So this drive, hopefully we'll see a few examples of what the car does when other cars around it try to merge in and out and things like that. How responsive the car is to those safety measures. Hopefully I can show you some examples of that happening. Look, I think this car has actually come a long way since we got it delivered in September 2019, which reminds me, it's almost 1 year now since we've had this car. So we'll certainly have a 1 year video for you guys to check out. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so. I really appreciate that. And of course, it'll keep you informed of any new content, and of course helps my channel to grow as well. So thank you very much for those who have subscribed and are about to do so. Alright, so it is 80 kilometers an hour. The car didn't change the speed limit. I was hoping it would, but it didn't. That's okay. Now we're coming up to another red light now, and the car will stop by itself as well. Another good example there. Okay, so another perfect execution there, crossing the intersection, very nice. I've got it on number 3 follow. I might go number 2, just because we're in busy-ish traffic. If you have it too far away in Sydney, the cars around you will cut into your lane, something we don't really want too much of, just to keep the nice flow of traffic. It's doing a pretty good job so far, which I quite like. And look, another green light there. We'll just tap the accelerator just to clear that. There we go. It should go past. You can see the green line there for the intersection. Very nice indeed. Hope you guys are enjoying the view here of the center screen. That's the back camera. These are the side cameras. You can see the side mirrors there on the corner of that vision. Those cameras are located just below those mirrors, obviously. And they're there to help the autopilot cameras normally, but it's nice that it's got that dual function where it's allowing me to see the side of the car like that. I must say I'm not quite at the point where I'm relying on these cameras. I think I still look at my side mirrors just because I'm a bit old school like that. I just think it's a bit too small there. And there were some comments in my previous video about that update that you don't get, I guess, the sense of peripheral vision with these cameras. You know, whereas I guess your eyes see a lot more than cameras, obviously. So having the peripheral vision with the side camera, I think it's still probably better awareness for now. I mean, it's a nice addition to have, of course. Probably not big enough, I think, to be honest, to rely on that. As I clear another red light here, or a green light rather, another intersection, and then it slows down again when there's a car ahead of me. So that did that very well there, I must say. Now, Autopilot doesn't turn corners yet. I'm in a turning lane for now, so we shall see when I get to it what the car does. Obviously, within safety limits, I won't let the car do too much if it's going to zoom ahead into the onto the oncoming traffic, of course. But let's see what happens at this. This is an interesting intersection here. We get a lot of these in Sydney, and I'm sure in other parts of the world too, where you can turn left onto another road with care if there are no other cars, of course. So let's see what the car does. It's still following, still following. I'm going to indicate, and there is a traffic signal there, so I might actually just disengage for now. Not safe to let it go past. And I'm going to engage I'm going to engage autopilot once it allows me to. There we go. And yeah, it's on 80 for now. It's going to hit 90 very soon. Unfortunately, Model 3 doesn't read speed limits currently. My old Model S does. It's got the old Autopilot 1 system, but anything, I think after about 2016, 2017, with hardware 2 and beyond, and this is a hardware 3 car, it doesn't read speed limits. I think that's a proprietary thing with Mobileye, I believe, the tech firm that allowed Tesla to use OEM for that technology. But now Model 3 reads, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, open source maps. So if you want to update your local area, I think you've got to update something like open source maps, open street maps. Sorry, I forget the name, but that's what it reads off rather than the speed limit, posted speed limit signs on the side of the road. I think it'd be good to have a combination of both, because sometimes when you've got roadworks, it's not reliable, because obviously, you know, that's not going to be listed in open source maps or open street maps, especially when it's like sudden roadworks. And also, like, some school zones aren't accurate as well, so that's a safety issue. You don't want to go too quick, and of course that could land you a speed ticket, a speeding fine as well. Just want to point out something too with the rear cameras. In this fading light, when we're driving into the sunset, you can see some false color aberrations here. So the red and green on the camera, the vision sometimes just presents a bit of a false color. You can see the wheels of the car there, a bit of a red-green abnormality, and the trees and things. So, you know, a slight anomaly. I'm not too fussed by that, but just thought something I'd point out to you. I'm sorry if I'm squinting a little bit more, just driving into the sun, of course, trying to talk to you guys at the same time. But yeah, this is a nice stretch of road, and again, it feels like the car's on rails on a road like this, where it's 90 kilometers an hour, and the car is just following the car ahead of me nicely, and within the speed limit too. So, you know, this is a great example of autopilot in action, basic autopilot. You can see this barriers there on the side of the road coming up, and sometimes presenting as cones. Yeah, and of course you saw the traffic lights earlier. So those kind of things, showing you what Tesla is seeing behind the scenes, and hopefully one day, when full autonomy comes around, you know, all the kinks will be ironed out, and people like you and I who've been driving on autopilot over the years and uploading data to the neural net, I think, you know, that's all part of the process for autonomy. And look, I guess the question is, do I want my car to be used as part of the robo-taxi network? Always a tough question. I'd like to keep a personal car for myself, just for private use, for the family, and for my work. Would I invest in a robo-taxi? I think maybe. Might be, you know, have to do the sums obviously and see whether it is worth investing, whether it's, you know, whether the payment from the fares that you get is worth the insurance, the costs, all those kind of things, and what the payback is, I guess. But yeah, that's something to look forward to in the future. As I clear this traffic light, guys, I think it's time to say goodbye. That is autopilot testing for software update for Model 3 Performance. Our Model 3 Performance 2020.28.6 with that autopilot test. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, keep safe if you are in lockdown in Victoria, particularly. I know it's tough times at the moment. We are thinking of you guys, and of course thinking of everyone else around the country and around the world. And guys, if you've enjoyed this video, I really appreciate you liking it. That would help my channel, of course. And thanks for subscribing if you've done so today or previously. And of course, if you haven't done so yet, please do so. That would help my channel, and of course keep you informed of any new content. And finally, guys, we all know autopilot works well in highways and things, but if you've got a stretch of road in your part of the world, in your city, in your town, that you know autopilot works well, leave a comment below. Leave a hot tip. Where does autopilot work well in your city or town? Leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Until next time, happy charging.